And he's struggling now, Lee. He's taken a few good punches to the head, and he's looking a bit wobbly. He goes down. Referee's looking very closely. He's certainly not got his equilibrium, has he? Offers his back, so he doesn't want to offer his face anymore.
Defend yourself!
Referee's asking for him to defend himself, but I think it looks like a bit of a lost cause. This is good work from Kudo, and surely there's not much more to come from Lee. The referee's certainly there looking closely. And has Kudo punched himself out? Takes a lot of energy to try and finish someone like that. And if you don't quite make it, you could leave yourself in a vulnerable spot.
Smart move here by Kudo, taking his time. He knows he's got Lee hurt. One more big shot is going to be all it takes to put him away.
Meanwhile, Lee sends in a couple of punches to the belly, so he's not entirely spent. Looking at his corner, listening for instruction, takes an elbow to the side of the head. Kudo brings his head down so that he can bring his knee up. That right eye of Lee is closing. He still looks a little bit shaky, doesn't he?
Lee needs to move his legs. He cannot trade here. He's hurt.
And there's plenty of time to go, Gianni. 100 seconds left in this first round. Kudo biding his time, as you say, not getting overexcited. Lots of time to do his work here. But all the while he does that, Lee is getting time to recover, to clear his head, and to devise a way to survive to the 1 minute break that's coming.
Kudo himself does not want to overexert and gas himself out.
Lands a right hand. Big swinging right from Lee, but it didn't hit the target. Nice uppercut from Kudo, who's got good movement. Has regained some freshness. He did look a little bit tired just after that barrage that nearly ended the contest. But he seems to have got a second win now. Lee still doesn't look particularly steady on his feet, and he's in the corner with an eye that looks to me as if it's bleeding. He's taking great shots, Gianni, it's true, and I don't think... Well, I was thinking the referee might choose to step in. 30 seconds left, some respite. There's a little mark, as I said, to the right side of Lee's face, which is not that troublesome an area for a cut. But it's another indication of how this first round has gone for him. Kudo totally in charge. Lee breathing hard.
10 seconds.
Round on its way to drawing a conclusion for itself. And Kudo can be very pleased with his 5 minutes work. Mouth closed, he'll take a seat and think about how he can perhaps finish this in the second.
A lot of pressure by Lee early on, but Kudo started to time the counters. This right hand started everything. Rocked him, steps forward again with the 1-2. You see Lee's legs just wobble. The head kick here drops him. Kudo is starting to pick his shots. The aggressiveness of Min-Hyuk Lee is starting to go against him. It's starting to work against his favor. I think he needs to slow this down. Look to grapple Kudo. End up on top to slow down the offensive strikes of Kudo.
Good body of work, isn't it, from Kudo in that 5 minutes? Couple of times, one time in particular, I really thought the referee was going to step in.
Move back, move back.
Quite possible that the mark to the right-hand side of Lee's face will swell up a bit. In fact, you're seeing the early signs now. It might close that right eye, which will make his situation even worse than it currently is. There's a big welt actually on top of Lee's forehead on the left-hand side of his face. So he's in all sorts of trouble.
But this was what Lee needed to do, slow down the strikes of Kudo. Hopefully try to drag him to the ground and end up on top. But on the feet, Kudo is picking him apart.
A short punch from Kudo, with his opponent there just sort of boxed in the corner, can't escape, there's no escape for him. Kudo leaning on him, moving his head, just roughing him up a little bit with the heads there. Right hand, left hand. And now there's a nose injury for Lee, who just yells out in a mixture of frustration and determination. Got to admire him, he's still in there. And if it had been down to me, he probably wouldn't have been. But that referee's doing a good job, because look at Lee now. Still gripping on to whatever hope might be left. But the injuries to his face mount up, and the number of blows that Kudo is landing increase.
This movement and counter-attacking by Kudo is so impressive.
Determination from Lee again, yelling once more, just trying to buck himself up.
Look for Kudo to break off one of these elbows again. He's landed 3 or 4 of them.
You can see that welt above the left eye. There's a cut to the side of the right eye. Oh, nice forearm. Lee nodding to either his corner or the referee to say, I'm okay. Let's keep doing this. 2:57 left of the second round. 15 minutes in total for him to weather this storm. And Kudo is some storm.
Good work by Lee to get his arms in, pummeling. Wants to turn Kudo's back against the rope.
Down they go. Kudo on top. He's got a 1-0 record in one Worrior Series, so that's 6-1-1 record as a professional. Not all achieved in this space. But you can bet Rich Franklin is having a close look at Kudo, and I wonder how much of his assessment will be his ability to actually put this man away. It's one thing dominating and winning clearly, but has he got that extra skill level, that extra power to finish it inside the distance? He's come close.
I think you got to give Lee a lot of credit for being as tough as he is.
Oh,
Kudo has hit him with hard shots, but he is not going anywhere.
Circles the ring from right to left, or brings that left foot up there to the side of the jaw. It's another heavy blow for Lee to deal with. Where does this man find his resilience? Again, he yells out for inspiration, seeking the muse of energy.
But that's the intelligence I was talking about. Kudo realizes that he probably is not going to finish Lee on the feet. Takes him down. Might have more success with the submissions. This is just a better change of tactics, just a veteran move from Kudo. Smart attacking.
This man will just not be put away, will he? Again, you can hear the breathing. Great camera work from our guys down there at ringside. Almost like being in there with them.
My work's finished.
Oh, knee to the head, right to the head, and Lee's still there. And he's still beckoning his man to come forth. Inside the final half minute of the second round. Kudo continues to come forward, unmarked, undeterred, but he's got that immovable object in front of him.
10 seconds.
We've seen it once already this evening, Gianni. What are the prospects that Lee's corner might stop this one for him?
This one's a little different. Lee is still in this one. He's still throwing really hard. He shows that he's not getting dominated anywhere. Every time he's taken down, he's popping right back up. He's returning with counter shots. I think he's still in this one, but that's completely up to the corner. He's taken a lot of damage as well. And that's a decision that the corner needs to make.
That forearm, that elbow, there it is again. I mean, that's just the kind of blow that makes you wonder how Lee is still there. But as you say, he is still there. And now there must be some responsibility in this final 5 minutes for Kudo. He must be thinking to himself, is it good enough just to get the win? Or can I impress just that little bit more by putting this man away? Well, that is going to be very, very tough, as we've already seen.
Ready? Ready? Go!
Final 5 minutes then. And Lee is the one who's coming forward. After I dared to suggest that maybe his cornerman would step in, he says, no, thank you. I'm still here. Single leg. And Lee batters Kudo's stomach as Kudo seeks to have an advantage on the ground. Slings him around, backs to the ropes. Again, he looks for inspiration, Lee. That right eye almost completely closed now.
This is good work from Kudo. Takedowns, top pressure, counterattacks. But just the heart of Min Hyuk Lee. Coming back after shots that would have taken any man out, Steve, I think.
Lee's more of a wrestler when he fights mixed martial arts. Very tough. He's got a good chin. I mean, that's clear for everybody to see. Good stamina. That's been a feature of his career so far. So it shouldn't be a surprise that he's still here after taking this much punishment. A real test for Kudo to see if he can just take that extra mile and get the inside the distance win, because surely the judges can't go against it. We've had 12 minutes of him dominating. It's going to take something very special to turn that around.
Kudo looking for some inside trips in the clinch.
Great effort from Lee. It's now a question of strength as they grapple there standing up. You can see the grimace on his face. How hard this has been for him. 3 minutes left, and that's a long time.
Equally as impressive is the attacks of Kudo. He's shown that he can counterattack on the back foot. Inside the clinch, he will hit you with hard elbows. He'll pull your head down for knees. He can take you down. Kudo is a complete athlete.
His left hand was tied up for much of while you were speaking there, Gianni, but the right hand was doing good work, digging in punches to the side of the body. And now with some distance between them, the rights and the lefts come in, and Lee again is getting picked off. When they have distance between them, Kudo's doing good work, and that's where Lee really struggles. But again, he comes back. He just will not give up. Puts himself in the pocket, in the mixer again. His face tells its own story about how this bout has gone. The accuracy, the surgical accuracy of Kudo's punches when they are at arm's length has been the difference in this contest. And he's caught him again with another super right hand.
Kudo is trying everything to put him away, Steve.
Not surprising that they're both gasping for air. And again, as their faces, heads rub together, which won't do Lee's situation any good at all with all that swelling. This dream of actually getting to the big stage must be as alive in Lee's heart as it is for Kudo. Surely that's the only reason, the only realistic reason for being in there and for lasting it out for the entire 15 minutes. Kudo will know he's been in the contest here tomorrow morning.
Yeah, there is no doubt that we will see Min Hyuk Lee back in here again. He's just so tough. I'd like to see him clean up a little bit, Steve, and not dive in headfirst all the time. Maybe mix it up, throw some sharp shots to set up the aggressiveness. At
this stage, though, Gianni, fatigue is dictating a lot of the style, because these two have been involved in utter warfare from the start. And I absolutely am convinced that they'll show each other tremendous respect when they're done as well. You can see the left ear is also damaged. Is there any part of Lee's face that isn't a testament to the the great offensive work that Kudo has done.
I really